Peace be with you and welcome back to my channel for another video. I thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Just a brief description of my channel, how it works. I basically channel direct messages from the divine, from spirit to the collective for those people that are vibrating at the highest white light, being the best versions of themselves. And so I want to do a video on dark magic. Oh yeah. I want to do a video on dark magic because it's important to understand the duality of energy, right? Everything in the atmosphere in the universe has its opposite, its polarity. There's good, there's bad, there's positive, there's negative, there's up, there's down, there's light, there's dark. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the message, right? So spirit is wanting things to be revealed so that we can learn how to protect ourselves. Here's the biggest secret that most people will never tell you. Once you are completely in your power, that means you have a great connection with your spirit guides. You're connected to the divine. You understand who you are and what you're here to do. Certain magic does not work on you. Okay. Without your permission, it's almost invasive in a way, right? When somebody goes and gets a tarot card reading and you've not given them permission per your confidentiality. It's a breach of a spiritual law. Or they go and get divination because they themselves are so focused on your life and what it is that you're doing that they feel they want to go to someone who's certified to find out what's going on. Is she getting money? Is she getting new love? Whatever people pry about that they're not privy to, right? It's a violation of the spiritual law. Now, here's the thing. How you use that energy really determines your life, right? So say I'm privy to somebody else's information, which I am all the time. It is the position that I hold per the Most High. And with that comes great responsibility to respect spiritual law, respect people's privacy. Okay. So then you have dark magic. You have people that have the ability to see that you're chosen, see that you have a bright path. They are intuitive enough that they see good things coming for you, right? So here's where the violation comes in, the abuse of power, abusing their gifts in order to manipulate the energy around you. Now, here is the beautiful part about that. When you're grounded, when you are sound, when you are moving in a way that pleases the divine, you have your angels fighting for you. And this is why black magic won't work on you. Okay. You might get a feeling, okay, there's an energy around, but it's not anything compared to what the person intended for you to feel. Okay. It's just a lesson, something for you to be mindful of. You rebuke it, it goes back. And sometimes, even when you're not aware of it, your angels are standing by so strongly, right? Especially Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael's my favorite angel. May he forever be pleased and may he always deliver the divine a good message when it comes to me. I pray I get a favorable judgment, right? Just in general. So those angels are fighting for you constantly. They're aware of everything. They will allow certain spiritual attacks depending on your evolution, right? Because some of those spiritual attacks help you. I know it sounds crazy, but the more you understand the spirit realm, how it works, energies, polarities, and how to balance out those forces of nature, right? You really can't master anything that you refuse to understand, right? So that's where we're at. Mastering it, walking straight into the darkness. Boom. No fear. I'm in the darkness. We're in it. I'm operating in it. I'm vibrating high in it. And I am the alchemist. So therefore, I am molding and shaping that darkness. So hence the saying, what the devil has meant for harm and bad, the divine is taking it and turned it around in my favor and allowed me to use it for good. So black magic, people do it all the time, especially people who are walking their path, because some people refuse to heal. They're watching, they're lurking, they're giving the evil eye, they're thinking evil thoughts, they're speaking bad things towards you, and you could be completely unaware. This is what it feels like to be in the refuge of the Most High, right? But then your enemy gets a lesson, and your enemy has to understand who you are, and God walks with you. So when your enemy is coming up against you, your birthright, your gifts, whatever you are here to do, they're really only attacking the vessel that you harbor at this time, or that you occupy, rather. Okay. That's all they're doing. But literally, insanely coming up against the divine. They're attacking the creator of all things, right? Crazy. I know. So, as you are the divine one, as you represent the Most High, as you start to just become more illuminated, right? With the characteristics of the divine: love, peace, joy, tranquility, temperance, balance, patience, understanding dual energies, what to do with them. Those things cannot work on you. They just don't. Okay. I want to give an example. There are people out there who have your pictures on their altars. There are people that are out there who make shit jars to make your life shitty, right? There are people burning black candles in your name. This is a reality of duality. So, as much as we want the spirit realm to be butterflies and sunflowers and all that, which is wonderful, I encourage you to stay focused on that. Those alternate realities and realms do exist, unfortunately, right? So, what do we do in those circumstances, right? Again, when you're honing in on your gifts, when you know who you are, Spirit will send you visions, dreams. You will know who's doing what, even if people believe that they are cloaking themselves. That is the gift from the Most High, to be able to see through the veil, to be able to understand the mysteries and the secrets of life. Now, here is the even more interesting part. Not only are they pissing off the divine, their life goes from sugar to shit in a matter of seconds. Why? Because you're coming up against someone that most likely does not know that you exist, in most cases. Or even if they do know that you exist, they're not sending that energy to you. So that energy has absolutely nowhere to go. It's a very volatile situation for the person that is the sender. Unfortunate, even. Some people's hatred runs deep in their blood that they can't stop, because they're being controlled by entities that are attached to them. Needless to say, it exists, right? People burying shit jars, doing all kinds of stuff. When in reality, they're being tormented by their ancestors. Why? Because their ancestors are tired of living a karmic life through them. Their ancestors are whooping their ass, because their ancestors is like, look, I died for your little punk ass, and you down here just as ugly as can be. We've already paid for that. And you taking this life and you turning it into crap when you've been given the gift of life. And that's straight from spirit realm. Because some of those spirits, some of those ancestors, their time has come and gone. So they're betting on you. They're banking on you to break the curse. And then you get here and you decide to just be tied to the devil, consciously, willingly tied. Because you refuse to do the work. You really have to have low self-esteem. You really have to be somewhere tormented, unhealed, just blinded by the devil, honestly, in order to even conjure up such dark magic towards someone who has never done anything wrong to you but exist and walk their path. Because at the end of the day, you got gods that rule and govern the underworld. All magic has to go through Tahuti. So when judgment time comes and the work that you've done with your hands, be it a curse or a blessing, is now under the examination of the divine and the gods of the earth, and you start getting your ass whooped and stuff starts to fall on your bloodline, you will know and understand that you messed with somebody that never even gave you a thought. Or if they did, they prayed for you. Black magic, it exists. Dark energy, it's real. That's like saying anger doesn't exist. But one who is enlightened, one who's mastered themselves, does not give their power over to anger. And when they do, oh, you better believe they were really slow to it. They were really slow to it. So when the divine gives the green light and they got to come back and start whooping ass, the divine is backing this person's anger. Because some people can do dark magic, right? It'll come back to them times 10. Okay, I learned my lesson. You know, they cry to the same God that we do. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. Then in the dark of the night, jealousy overcomes them. You got married, they still not married. You got a baby, they want a baby. Whatever their fears are, whatever it is that you have that they don't believe, the divine can give them also. Is lurking in the night. And they go and they do it again. Now they've opened up a door where they are now possessed by the very demons that they wanted to send your way. Because you're moving on your path, right? Not a fun place to be. Not a fun place to be, especially when it's stemmed from you refusing to do your inner work within yourself. If you work on yourself, if you like yourself, you won't have the time, the energy to purposefully, deliberately, obsessively, compulsively spend any time in your life attacking someone who is not tied to you spiritually, mentally, or physically. You won't have the time. Period. And then you take the chance of knowing that it's going to come back to you. Oh my God, God really is walking with this guy. God really is walking with this woman. My favorite people are the ones that keep a watch on you to assure that their work is working. What a horrible way to validate your time and your existence on this earth. They say when you take your last breath, that every moment that you've ever had flashes before you in the blink of an eye. Can you imagine just a miserable person living their entire life destroying everything good. And then you stand before the divine at the end of it all. And you go over your life. And all you remember is you making shit jars and voodoo dolls and hoodoo and whatever else people conjure up, right? Stealing people's hair or whatever. Can you imagine standing there in front of the divine, explaining your life? Right? So this is why Jesus constantly said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Why? Because some people are out of their minds. They don't know what they're doing. They truly are being controlled by demonic forces. Some people's bloodline is cursed. They will never get out of the curse. And when they were able to, because we serve a gracious creator, a merciful creator, the divine always has an alternate plan where the divine reaches down and gives a hand and says, hey, all you have to do is take my hand. You don't have to be like your mother, your father, or whomever in your family bloodline is toxic. But because some people are so in love with their demons, and they're so in love with the fact that they can attack people who don't know they're being attacked and who are weak spiritually, they continue on a dark path. So when they laugh, their laugh is not full of joy. It's fear. Why? Because they got so much karmic shit that they built up that they just waiting for the tower to come. And instead of stopping, they have something to prove to the ego. I know I did this before, and I know I could kill somebody, and I'm going to XYZ. And then you come up against karma. You approach an earth angel, and your shit backfires. I've seen it happen. You don't want to know the stories about the botanicas that I've been in. The spiritual path that I've seen from Nigeria to Cuba, a lot of people don't even know. I promise you, it's easier to operate in love. It really, really is. Asking God, search me, forgive me, take out of me anything that does not need to be attached to me. This is the prayer. This is not to instill fear, but to raise awareness so that we are aware of energies around us. People that might, smile, but in the night they wishing hatred and harm and all that. You got a beautiful family, beautiful husband, beautiful child, whatever the case. And they want to be the only one on the planet with a beautiful family. They don't want you to have it. Insanity. That is mental illness. There's no pill for that. And people will make excuses because they've been hurt. Because they've gone through pain, they want somebody else to feel their pain. It's nowhere near noble and absolutely nowhere near wise. Because when the divine comes and whoops your ass, you will want to believe that it's the devil. Oh no, the devil ain't got nothing on the divine. You talk about the Lord said, I giveth and I taketh away. The Lord will take it away. You will be praying to die. Why? Because everybody has an opportunity to change. It's not the way you start, it's how you finish. Once you make a conscious decision to stop being a toxic energy moving throughout the world because you don't like who you are. That's like hating what God created. How can you hate yourself that much that you put so much hatred into somebody consistently to watch them fail? Oftentimes, the person that you hate the most is there to help you. There's always going to be greater or lesser persons than yourself. I know people don't want to hear that, but that is the way that it works. I've sat around some very powerful practitioners when I first came into my walk, and they say enlightenment is all perfume and butterflies and the sky is gray. I mean, the sky is blue and clear and all that. No, you get pissed off first because now your eyes have been opened. You're like a brand new baby and you realize everything that you thought you knew, you didn't know. Let's not be confused. If you have the power to manifest darkness, you have the same power to manifest light. Doesn't mean that that darkness doesn't exist. We all harbor the duality within ourselves. But what are your reasons? The scales absolutely have to be balanced. Just a real interesting story before I end the video. When I first walked into my calling, I was completely just lost. I was angry because I realized that a lot of the issues of the world was because people created them, not because somebody had to die. So the things that I've seen enraged me at that time, right? And when I tell you, I had probably some of the most powerful practitioners come up against me because they knew who I was. They knew my calling. They threw some of the biggest black magic at me at that time that I don't think one human being should have endured. And I remember crying in the night like, God, this was supposed to be a good experience. I'm connecting with my ancestors. You know, I got my hand of Orula. I'm learning my birth path. I've got my warnings. I got everything that it is that I'm supposed to have, right? And boom, welcome to the spirit world. They did not like it. So they did everything to kill me, destroy me, whatever they felt they needed to do, right? I got a lot of respect for my enemy because my enemy was my biggest teacher. The devil comes pretty. My enemy was pretty. My enemy was smiling at me. My enemy was making me food, laughing with me. And all the while, behind closed doors, was literally trying to dismantle my entire soul. Right? So, yeah, I think about that now. And I'm so grateful because it's the school of the hard knocks, is what it is. You can by no way help anybody if you ain't been through a damn thing. What you gonna help somebody with, right? I didn't know at the time that I was being pruned and pulled and, you know, I mean, you talk about molded. Whew. For those who are really sitting in their power, you know. When you know, you know. And it never stops. You understand what I'm saying? It never really stops. But you do reach a level where you understand what you're dealing with. You know when you got to balance out the scales. You feel when people are trying to get into your energy space and you learn how to protect yourself. That's the reality. That's the power of duality. Being grounded in the Most High, staying in alignment with the Most High, speaking your truth with God's permission is protection. So I thank God for allowing me to convey this message to you. Black magic is real. But when you gain enough spiritual muscle, when you understand how to invoke your divine ancestors, when you know how to invoke your angels and you're obedient to the call, and you know that nothing happens without the divine's permission, you become grateful for every experience, every single human being that's played a part in the evolution of who you are. I thank God for my haters. Thank you. They still continue to put me in positions where I am just blessed without even realizing it. But some things, some people never learn their lesson. And it's unfortunate because it is their ultimate demise. Nobody is worth it. No level of hatred, jealousy, anger, unhealed, whatever energy is worth it. Because when you're too concerned about somebody else and what they're doing, you really are reflecting outward as opposed to inward. And that's true alchemy, understanding that. So, that's the message. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. You're more than welcome to come back. Again, don't forget to click that like button as you come into the channel. Dislike button, whatever you feel your spirit is calling you to do. And also click the notifications button so that if my channel resonates with you, you like my channel, you feel that it's useful for you and whatever you got going on, you'll get notifications. Okay? Every time I upload new content. So with that being said, as I always say on every video, peace be with you until next time.